Hello everybody, welcome to Late Night Football. Welcome to our match reaction show. It's finished Tottenham Hotspur 2, Chelsea nil. Chelsea's just that the season just goes from bad to worse, doesn't it? And I feel silly because when after the January transfer window, and I'd say that maybe Chelsea can make a late push for top four if they can get into a good run of form. But at the moment, even top seven looks out of reach. I don't know if they're going to finish seventh at this rate, let alone top four, and that's sad. That's sad in a way, and you've got to wonder what Todd Boehly is thinking as he's sitting there watching that game and he's watching. Now I know they said they're going to give Graham Potter time, but I mean, at some point you've got to start thinking: is this the person to take us forward? And what it does remind me of a little bit, it reminds me of Manchester United last season, where you've got a good coach, a decent coach, whatever. You might question the coach, but it just looks like no matter what happens off the field or whatever, you just feel like you go into a game knowing you don't have the belief that you're going to win. And if we as fans don't believe, and I'm not a Chelsea fan, but I'm saying if fans don't believe that Chelsea can win, and I don't think any Chelsea fan believed that they could win today, then the reality is that it transmits to the players, it transmits onto the field. I mean, it's just I just don't think there's belief around that club anymore, and that's the problem, because you can lose games. But the way they lost today, I mean, never looked like they were in it. There were maybe a couple of flashes here and there, which you expect, but there was never a sustained pressure, never a sustained play debate. Thought, you know what, Chelsea could get a goal here, Chelsea could score here. It never looked like that, and that is a big concern. I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know what the future holds. I don't claim to make any decisions, but the fact is that something needs to change, and I don't know what it is. Normally, you'd say, well, they need an overhaul, but the fact is they've just spent £600 million on new players. So where's if they've done an overhaul already? So what's going wrong, right? Talking about Tottenham though, and Tottenham played exceptionally well today, and this is what Tottenham do. You always feel, oh, they're having a bad season, which is last year as well, and then suddenly somehow quietly they just sneak into those top four places, and they're sneaked into the top four places. Now they're fourth, and this win is important because keep in mind, United are not playing today, Newcastle not playing today in the Premier League, so or this weekend rather, they're not playing, and so they've got a chance to cut the gap to United, maybe give themselves a bit more cushion over Newcastle. Puts pressure on both those teams as well when they play their game in hand. Which both of them will be tough games, because Newcastle was supposed to be Brighton and United is supposed to be Brentford. I don't think either of those games would have been, there was the potential for drop points anyway. So for Spurs to pick up 3 points from a game that they could have drop points in is so vital, and I think that is something that they're going to be really happy with. It was and that's where Tottenham are. They seem to be the Arsenal of this generation, and they're the team that seems to have a bad season, and then slowly they sneak into the top four, and then they just stay there, and then they do enough to get into top four without really troubling anyone above them. But that's what Spurs are. Oliver Skipp scored that goal. I mean, before that, the red card. Now it could have got worse for Chelsea. That was a red card. I think Ziyech is lucky to escape with the yellow. Was that the right decision? I've seen those given, right? I mean, it happened to Casemiro. He got a red card for just, he put his hand around the shoulder, and he was basically, trying to keep him away from the fight, but he got a red card for it. Ziyech gets away. Maybe because as a consequence of the backlash from that, Ziyech gets away with it, because I think he was trying to push him away from the shoulder, but his hand goes towards the face, which happens, right? In an aggression, sometimes you hit areas that you're not supposed to, because you're not looking. He wasn't looking. He was just trying to push him away. It happens, but we've seen those being given as a red card. So he's lucky to escape with that, because if that was down to 10 men, that could have been really worse for Chelsea. But yeah, I think he's lucky, but it was break perhaps for Chelsea. It didn't matter much in the end because they lost anyway. But that's where you go. Sometimes even the right decisions don't really help you, do they? But the goal from Skipp again, Chelsea right after the break, they've gone into the half 0-0. They just come away, with the lucky decision on their side. Now you're thinking, okay, fine, let's try and find some rhythm. Let's try and make the most of that. And yet they just concede a goal in the first minute after the break. I mean, that is just, and it's a bad goal to concede as well, because I mean, first of all, the shot from Kepa should be catching it. There's no reason for Kepa to fumble it, because that's where it starts. If he doesn't fumble it, if he grabs it, it's that attack is dead. But the problem is because he fumbles it, it falls there, and it's Koulibaly, isn't it, who just smacks. I don't know, it's not Koulibaly, I don't know who it was, but he just smack it away. It's not a good clearance, but he smacked it away because Kepa has fumbled and he can't take that chance. And I mean, Felix, he's sleeping a little bit. He's got to be more alert. I think he's just kind of, thinking, oh, the ball's, everybody's there, nobody's attacking me. But Skipp's there, and I think Felix should have done better as well. But credit to Skipp, he didn't give that up. He won that ball. and he had to win it as well, because if he hadn't won it, there was a chance for a counter. So he had to win that. He had to get that right. And he got that right. And why did he get it right? He got it, and he just puts a shot in, and then Koulibaly kind of gets in the way of Kepa, and it's a goal. Kepa, could he have done better on the shot? I'll cut him a bit of slack, because I think Koulibaly blocked his line a little bit, but definitely the fumble was his fault. If he hadn't fumbled in the first place, that would have been dead. So silly goal to concede for Chelsea, especially to a player who's never scored before for Spurs. That's just how it's going at the moment, isn't it? When you're down, you're down. Everybody kicks you. It's 1-0. And after that, there was no attack from Chelsea. There's just nothing from Chelsea. They never looked like they were getting back in the game, and it became 2-0. Again, another sloppy goal to concede. It's a corner. This time, Dier's flick on, and Kane is just unmarked at the back post. How do you leave Harry Kane unmarked in a corner situation is something that I will never ever understand. And I don't think even he could have believed the amount of space that he just comes in and he just puts it on. Chilwell probably is the one who should be marking him. At the very least, he's got to be marking that back post, because he's got to be looking at, if there's any kind of flick on or something that's going to go, then he just kind of loses everyone. He's just kind of caught in no man's land. But I think Chelsea looked defeated. Even without that second goal, they looked defeated. That second goal was just confirmed, like, yeah, we're defeated, we're done here, kind of situation. So from Spurs' point of view, it's a fantastic win. From Chelsea's point of view, I think there's some serious introspection that needs to happen, and it needs to happen at the top, where I think they need to decide. And like I said, it might very well be a plan where they go, right, we're going to ride the season off. We're not doing it. We're not going to worry about getting into Europa or Conference League. Let's just ride the season off, and let's see which players we want to keep for next year. What are the areas, gaps that we want to address, and then let's try and look for that. Maybe that is a plan. But I don't think that is. I think these results, at some point, you've got to start thinking these results are not good, and these performances are not good. It's the performances more than the results, aren't they? Because you can play well and lose, but the way Chelsea are playing at the moment, they're neither playing well and they're losing really, really, they're finding ways to lose that they shouldn't be losing. So yeah, there needs to be introspection. Maybe maybe it's time for Potter to go. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to see how he turns it on, because it feels like the players, it doesn't look like the players want to play for him. Right. And sometimes, and that means that, and it's not always the manager's fault that the players don't want to play for him, but if the players don't want to play with the manager, and they just spend £600 million on players, I think there needs to be some kind of introspection that to think, right, maybe decision that needs to be made, maybe it needs to go. Anyway, right, let me know your thoughts on the game. Of course, it's sad to see where Chelsea are, because I feel bad for my predictions, but it does feel sad to see where Chelsea are, considering just 2 years ago they were winning the Champions League. But these things happen in football, and right, I mean, just let me know what you think, and how do you think Chelsea can come back this season or next season, probably. What needs to change? Let me know in the comments. Of course, smash like if you enjoyed this video. Smash like for Spurs. They played well today. Normally they do play badly and they win, but I thought today they played well. They deserve that, man. Fully deserved 3 points. They really, really played well, and maybe they're picking up form at the right time. I don't think they will get past Milan in the Champions League, which is kind of sad to see, but in a way, but I think they're in a good place to get that top 4 spot, and that's what they will want. But anyway, let me know your thoughts on the game, of course. Smash like, as I said, as well, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Appreciate your support. We got a few more match reaction videos coming today, so do stay tuned for that. Take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.